So, a suite of products from Morrisby, distributed by career analysts in Australia, and all the products are customised. What we had until 2021 is we had a product called Morrisby Profile. This measures a series of aptitudes, personality and career interests, and generates career suggestions. Quite a lot of it's interactive and it's linked into a well-maintained database of careers information. 2021, Morrisby introduced two new products. One is Morrisby Careers, bottom left here. Now this has been placed earlier in the timeline, that sort of snake of timeline of school, than the Morrisby Profile, but it can actually be done at any time. So you could start this in year 7, you could do it in year 12 if you don't have any other tools. It is a straightforward interest questionnaire, the same one as used in the Morrisby Profile, so short but well put together and comprehensive. And that generates career suggestions. And there's also a couple of additional questionnaires in Morrisby Careers. One is one on work values and the other is one on study interests post 18. So a nice tool. It is one-dimensional, but it's priced accordingly. When you get into the more comprehensive products, clearly there's a lot more technology behind. As soon as you start having more than one source of information, you multiply up the complexity of the algorithms that generate sensible career suggestions. And it's this additional added value of Profile over Morrisby Careers that justifies the price difference of $50 a completed report versus around, say, $5.70 or something like that, depending on the size of your cohort and a couple of other factors. You do need training to use the Morrisby Profile. It's only one day, it's free of charge. You don't need any training to use Morrisby Careers. Now, if you use Morrisby Profile for a whole year group, pretty much 90% we're saying, then you get Morrisby Careers for free. So the reason Morrisby Careers is here rather than after the Morrisby Profile is if you say you're doing Morrisby Profile year 10, maybe year 9, you might decide in year 8 or year 9 to run a careers taster program. There are supporting videos behind this. It's all free of charge if you're a Morrisby Profile client, and it can get students to start thinking about their interests and specifying and discussing their preferences and how those link into different careers. All the stuff at the top here, these are starters in terms of lesson plans for a careers education program, and these all relate to the tracker system up the top here. It's comprehensive, and like anything comprehensive, there's some complexity in it. Don't expect to pick up Morrisby Tracker, click a few buttons and design and execute an entire careers education program for an entire school. Life has never been that simple, and it's still not that simple. You're going to have to get your head around the software. A lot of careers advisors are not software specialists, and this might mean that you want someone who's more of a systems thinker, perhaps with an IT orientation or a step-by-step orientation, to have a look at the system and see how it can work for you. But essentially the way it would work would be you'd probably import your year 7s or year 8s perhaps. Then you'd set up a couple of activities for them. You might use Morrisby's, or you might generate your own. You might edit Morrisby's and localize it, but it's all just been done beginning of 2021. So I think what's there at the moment is good enough unless you already have something prepared. So you put them through some exercises. Some of these exercises hold their data within Morrisby. Other lessons, they expect that to be paper and pencil based in a class, and then students may or may not upload evidence that they've completed these activities into the system through the locker system within Morrisby. Over time they do some exercises, maybe 1 or 2 a year. Then they do Morrisby Careers, have a bit of a play, start forming some concepts about what their interests are and give them a model into which to place and I guess state their interests so that they can can think about them and tell people actually what the categorizations are. A few more activities, and then the Morrisby profile, building on Morrisby careers but bringing objective data around both the level of ability but more importantly the pattern or shape of ability. And the whole training course is really around understanding how this works. It's now got a 70-year history of being reasonably effective in identifying the kinds of work that people will be satisfied in. Carry on past that, a whole series of other activities that you may and may not use, then a study interest questionnaire. And that study interest questionnaire is looking at tertiary study, and it's different to the interest questionnaire. The interest questionnaire looks at tasks and environment. The study interest questionnaire says, what do you want to study? And that's it. At the age of 18, you don't lose your login. All this data stays, and it's available post-school for 5 years after your last login to the system. So quick look at costs. Profile, $50 a completed report. Free training, use it as much or as little as you want. Morrisby Careers is a site license where you pay for one cohort. Let's say you've got 100 in a year group in year 10, you pay for them, but you can actually use the product on anybody in the school. So in the first year or two, we might expect a cohort of 100, and we might expect the school to profile 200-300 students, and that's just fine because over time it'll settle down to just the 1 year group. And Tracker sits on top of that. You can't buy it alone. It has to be twinned either with Careers or with basically a whole cohort using Morrisby Profile, and that's $440 for the school license.